episode 2 of Ask Mecca, guys. This is so cool. Again, I always introduce the podcast with my excitement, but it's because I'm genuinely excited to be doing this. How does one introduce a podcast? How does you're trying to greet your viewers and you're trying to say, "Hi, welcome to my house. Let me bring you a cool glass of water." We all have that little insecure child inside us that just needs attention and wants reassurance that you're doing a good thing, you're doing a good job, participation award. And those are really dangerous because it gives everyone such a false sense of where our own unique skills are and where our own successes can be. And if you think you're good at everything, you're never going to be an expert at anything. If you're getting rewarded for doing something that anyone else can do, you're setting yourself up for failure in your life because there are things that not everyone can do. And there's things that we're just never going to be good at. And you know what? That is okay, because if you celebrate every little tiny thing, then you're never going to be happy with when you can really achieve something. You're never going to be able to understand what achieving a goal really feels like. It's really important to make sure that you nurture that inner child and give unconditional love to the child inside you that wants attention and needs validation. But that doesn't mean you're just as good as everybody else in the world. You are the best human that you can be. You are the best version of yourself in the world. And you deserve to listen to what drives you, what makes you passionate, what makes you stoked to get out of bed in the morning and shut that alarm off. When we have variety in our world, when we have people that are good at all kinds of different things, that is when the world is the coolest place to be in. That's when it's really exciting to be in the presence of other people because they stimulate you, they make you grow because they found their passion and they found what makes them excited to wake up in the morning. Here in Ask Mecca, we go into stories provided by viewers and listeners in an attempt to help them navigate some kind of conflict in their life, whether it's relationships, their lifestyle, their relationships with themselves. What I love about the opportunity that this podcast gives me is it gives me a really beautiful vessel to connect with other people and provide them perhaps a touchstone to get through the difficult moments in their lives, especially during the time that we're in right now. Disclaimer that I have no professional experience whatsoever in psychology or any other accreditation that would make me an expert on this subject. All that I'm providing is my opinion, social commentary, and perhaps some anecdotal experience to help you have some perspective and get through this moment in your life. Welcome to episode 2. Today's story comes to you from an individual that is stuck between a rock and a hard place. When your mind says no, but your heart says yes. What's the right decision? What path do you take? What is going to be the best decision for yourself? What is going to give you the longest happiness in your life? And then it begs the question, do you inherently believe that you deserve happiness? Dear Mecca, I've been in love with a married man for over a year. His divorce date keeps getting pushed. Went from June 2019 to possibly June 2021 or even later. His wife, family, and kids know about me and his plans to divorce to be with me. I love him and really want to wait, but also this is absolute torture. I don't know if this waiting will do more harm than good. We've been up and down constantly. One day we're in love and the next day we're at each other's throats fighting and breaking up. Mecca, I have to ask, when is love not enough? So first off, the first thing that I see and I hear is that it sounds like you're a person that's gotten used to being second best in your life. Is it wrong to say that it's likely the two of you are used to being in lust with each other, and when things get tough or challenging, you both bail? Or have you both done that in past relationships? If you're comfortable being in a situation where you're second best and you're not getting the authentic love and intimacy that you so deserve, what's your motivation behind changing your life and making it better and getting the partner that you deserve and making him be the partner that you deserve, that you both deserve? We all have that one relationship that makes us reassess our place in the world. The relationship expands our boundaries and makes us take a deep inward look at ourselves. So sometimes we're put in situations that demand we grow and demand that we expand ourselves to ask for what we need. I'm going to tell you a story about who I was 4 years ago. I think I was very naively floating through my mid-20s. I was someone that I was quite arrogant, as I think many 20-year-olds are. I fell head over heels in love with someone that was absolutely wrong for me in every way imaginable. This person was very boundaried, very guarded, very dark, had a very dark energy, clearly a background that my empathetic self wanted so desperately to fix and make everything okay for this person. When you are in the thrills and addictive chaos of lust, there's nothing anyone can say to you that will make you change your mind from being with this person. Right from the get-go, that is not a healthy foundation for a functional and supportive and loving relationship. I had dumped everybody else. I couldn't stand to be in a relationship longer than 2 years. I couldn't imagine getting married and getting tied down. And in my eyes at the moment, that wasn't enough to change that person. And I wasn't enough to change that person. But in reality, what was really happening was these were two human beings that couldn't create mutual love together. Because I'd gone through that and I'd felt what real, honest vulnerability felt like. That led me to the life that I'm able to have now. And it is an experience that is so incredibly important for all humans to go through, because when you experience grief, it just opens up your capabilities to feeling love and joy, compassion and empathy, and all of the emotions that really make our life something to really be proud of and something to really feel that it's worthwhile, especially in those moments of suffering. From the chosen phrasing that you selected in the letter, it begs me to question if you have been a person in your life that has always been fighting for first place. As a child growing up, is it possible that you were someone that was never given enough attention? Were you someone as a teen that would put your friends before you? Not necessarily out of kindness, but out of insecurity. Because if someone got close enough to you, could you handle it? Could you handle intimacy? Could you handle connection? Could you handle being raw and vulnerable with another person? Because perhaps in the past, the pain of that was not worth the results yielded. The only job for a child is to play. If you grew up in a household where your presence was a burden and being yourself was something to be fearful of, then I'm so sorry that you went through this. And I just hope that now in the world that you live in, you're able to find power in being yourself. And the reason I focus so much on who you were in the past in your present relationship conflict now is because this is where a lot of our conflicts stem from, is the love that we've gotten used to receiving, which we receive in the early years of life, sets us up for romantic relationships in our later years. So I emphasize, if you've gotten used to being second best, that it's no wonder that you're in a situation right now that you're waiting for somebody in a very difficult situation to build a life with you. Humor me. Think of a moment in your life that you recall feeling like you were at the top of your game, that you were the best at this one thing, that you got first place. There is a lot of external pressure from life that's being put against this relationship on the two of you. And the pressure is so important because it's making sure that the two of you are strong together and united against anything that's coming your way. Divorces are incredibly expensive now, especially in 2020. And if this is a person that has other things in their life that demand their attention and energy, it's no wonder that it keeps getting pushed off. This is something that's completely out of your control. And I'm assuming that you're someone that doesn't respond well to feeling out of control. You have no control over his familial obligations, being a dad, and his relationship with his ex-wife. These are all things that could have occurred long before you were in his life. If you're afraid that this person will leave you if you've waited for them for 2 years to get married, then there's a bigger thing that needs to be addressed inside yourself first and foremost before you move into any serious commitment with this person. If you're not feeling stable in your relationship right now, that's worth investigating more than is this worth waiting? Because if you're scared this person's going to leave you, once everything settles down, is it possible that you just find comfort in chaos? What does your life look like together once all the chaos has calmed down? In a situation like this, it's really important before acting or making any rational decisions to assess all the variables at your disposal. The variables that are keeping the two of you apart right now are things that will, in time and with patience, be resolved so that the two of you can be together. If you enjoyed today's podcast and want to be a part of it, the link to apply is in the show notes below. You can catch me live on Twitch at twitch.tv/MeccaAir as well. The link is in the description below. And be sure to follow me on Twitter and Instagram for daily updates about our episodes, new content coming out from Mecca. Thanks for listening, guys, and we'll see you next time.